Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. Unfortunately though, we're beginning this week with some less good news. On November 29th, Tomomichi Nishimura passed away at the age of 79. In the Gundam fandom, he was known for voicing Geomet Hyman, and he also played a lot of other characters like Mitsuyoshi Anzai from Slam Dunk, Margicus from Full Metal Panic, Akuma and M. Bison from Street Fighter, and the narrator from Yu Yu Hakusho. For Hathaway's Flash then, they announced that they're launching Call of Hathaway, a set of 7 special projects leading up to the release of the second movie. But don't expect too much from these special projects. For example, number 1 is simply a promotional video going over some of Gundam's highlights throughout the years, and that's it. If you want to watch it though, I will have the full thing linked down below. Number 2 is the Gundam Cinema Rally featuring Hathaway's Flash. From January the 2nd until the 29th, a Gundam movie will be shown every day in participating theaters, and moviegoers will get a matching sticker as a free bonus. Freedom is aired on the 2nd, Gundam 00 Awakening of the Trailblazer on the 3rd, Unicorn Episode 7 on the 4th, Gundam H Memory of Eden on the 5th, Narrative on the 6th, the prologue of Witch from Mercury and Episode 1, 2, and 3 on the 7th, GQuuuuuX Beginning on the 8th, Char's Counterattack from the 9th to the 15th, and then the first Hathaway's Flash movie from the 16th to the 29th. Number 3 then is no doubt the one that you've already heard about. The first Hathaway's Flash movie will get recut as a 4-episode TV version, which will be shown on Japanese television from January the 6th until the 27th. Each episode will take up a 35-minute time slot, but there is no word on any new scenes or something being added, so expect this to be a straight up cutting up of the movie. Number 4 then is a prize campaign that's only available for Japanese residents, so moving on to number 5. They released 2 viewing guides for people who are new to Gundam, or at least new to the Universal Century, so they can do some catching up on essential viewing for Hathaway's Flash. Unfortunately, I don't think these are all that great, and I made an entire video explaining why I thought that these weren't all that great. You can check out the full video on screen or down below, but here's a quick recap of the thing. The main problem with these guides is that they tell you to watch the compilation movies of Zeta Gundam, which is going to be really confusing for people who don't know anything about Gundam, because due to their ending, they're not actually a true recap of Zeta Gundam, but they're actually an alternate universe version of Zeta Gundam. They're a less depressing version that is no longer connected to Double Zeta Gundam, and as a consequence, this then creates some significant plot holes later on as well. So instead of following either one of these roadmaps, you're way better off with number 6 and number 7. They'll be creating 1-minute videos explaining the various Gundam series leading up to Hathaway's Flash, as well as other important things and concepts. I will have the playlists for both of them linked down below, but unfortunately, the only 2 languages available are either the original Japanese, spoken by an actual person, or a horrible AI English dub. And related to the movie news, it was announced that the OG Gundam compilation movies and Char's Counterattack will be released as part of the Emotion Big Jacket collection. This is a special edition of the Blu-rays going for 9,680 yen each, 62 US, stored in a large jacket measuring 32 by 32 centimeters or roughly 12 by 12 inches. Making them roughly the same size as a Laserdisc jacket, which I'm guessing is what they're going for here. They want to evoke some nostalgic emotion. And it's not just the Gundam movies that are part of this collection. Releasing on January 28th, we have those OG Gundam compilation movies, but also Love Live! The School Idol movie, Ghost in the Shell, Farewell to Space Battleship Yamato, and Space Battleship Yamato the movie. And releasing on February 25th, there is Char's Counterattack, Love Live! Sunshine, the School Idol movie Over the Rainbow, Yamato, The New Voyage, Be Forever Yamato, and Final Yamato. For Iron-Blooded Orphans then, it was announced that from December 18th until February the 1st, a special 10th anniversary cafe will be opening up in Tokyo Solamachi. And as the main image, we've got the main cast looking really fancy, which you can then of course also get on some merchandise like stickers, acrylic keychains, acrylic stands, postcards, and A4 clear files. Plus there's also this square bottle you can get. As for the food, for the most part it is the usual kinda related collaboration food stuff, like Mikazuki Lemonade, Orga Cassis Cola, Eugene Muscat and Mint Mojito, Shino Berry Soda, Akihiro Hot Apple Green Tea, Biscuit Butterscotch Milk, Takaki Blue Lemonade, Yamagi Butterfly Pea Milk, Riddy Mango Soda, Mikazuki Popcorn Sundae, Orga Popcorn Sundae, or this, at first glance, quite random looking assortment of pancakes topped with a cracker, pretzels, cookies, and a biscuit that looks specifically like a Belgian Lotus biscuit. Nice. Less nice then is that you're essentially eating Biscuit's entire family with this dish. For the main course then, you can choose between a hamburger that has the Tekadon logo burnt into it, a Tekadon rice bowl, with the joke here being that don is short for a rice bowl, so it's like a Tekadon don. And then we have the best for last, the corn mace. And for anyone who has me on the second monitor, you might want to look over for a second because this is supposed to be a corn cheese dog. It looks burnt. For the Gunpla news then, we head over to the Gundam base where we got one completely new announcement and then also a few new details for some older announcements. The new announcement is the entry-grade Gundam base limited Build Strike Exceed Galaxy painting model, which is releasing on the 27th for 1,430 yen, 9 US. And as the name indicates, it is a remold with a color scheme that is made specifically easy for painting. The armor parts are all white, the joint and frame parts are gray, and the clear parts are now totally clear, so you can even paint those in a color you want. As for the rest, it's all kits that were previously announced, but now they got a release date and price, but unfortunately no new pictures. Releasing in January, we've got the Gundam Side F Limited High-Grade Giradoga Heavy Weapons Type for 3,850 yen, 25 US. In March, we've got the Gundam Base Limited Real Grade Epion Special Coating version for 11,000 yen, 71 US. Releasing in May, there is the Event Limited Gundam XX Clear Color version for 2,530 yen, 16 US. And the Gundam Base Limited Best Mecha Collection RX-78 Gundam Revival version, Gundam Base Color version, going for 1,650 yen, 11 US. And finally in June, there is the Event Limited Gundam F91 After Image Clear version, going for 1,870 yen, 12 US. For the figures, meanwhile, the biggest thing was that pre-orders went live for the Gundam Universe Mighty Strike Freedom and Sinanju. Both go for 4,400 yen apiece, 28 US, and are slated for a June release. As for the accessories, for the Mighty Strike Freedom, we're getting a replacement V-fin for the Disruptor, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, the Futsunomi Tama, and a bunch of different hand options. And Sinanju comes with its shield, a pair of beam axes, beam rifle, and also a bunch of hand options. So not a bad selection of accessories, but there are a few important ones missing, like the beam rifles for the Mighty Strike Freedom, and the beam sabers and bazooka for the Sinanju. But I guess they had to keep the price down somehow. And because Gundam Universe figures are always released in sets of 3, the Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode Renewal version is getting a re-release alongside of them. It's also going for 4,400 yen, 28 US, and is also releasing in June. For some miscellaneous stuff then, in late March, these GQuuuuuX metal trays are releasing for 385 yen a pop, $2.50, as well as these Narabundesu Haro Gachapon figures. They're big sized, meaning that they go for 800 yen a spin, 5 US, and you can get them in 3 different flavors: OG Green, Seed Pink, and 00 Orange. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Gundam F90 I-Type Jupiter Battle specifications has joined the fray, while on Steam the G-Cannon Magna has become available. In the global version of UC Engage, there is a new Blitz mission event, as well as a Super vs. Extreme limited unit assembly, featuring units like the UR Unicorn Gundam with Hyper Mega Launcher and UR Narrative Gundam B-Packs. And as the Gundam G Generation Eternal then has once again reached number 1 in certain regions, giving everyone 3,000 diamonds yet again. And in addition to that, there's a new unit assembly featuring the UR Providence Gundam EX and Raul Crusade, the UR Kempfer EX and Mikhail Kaminsky, and UR supporter Multa Azrael and the Dominion. Apparently, this is the new spelling of his name, and I hate it. Anyways, there's also the Grand Offensive Volume 1, which will give you the SSR Dual Assault Shroud, SSR Isaac Jewel, and an extremely smug-looking SSR Flay Ulster and Archangel Supporter. As for the things you could get this week then, first up on the 5th, the Kith collaboration kits went up for sale, and oh boy. If you thought those images last week were bad, just wait until you see the actual product images. Not only are they posed by someone who knows nothing about Gunpla, they were apparently also built by someone with no idea about Gunpla, or any kind of model kit for that matter. Just look at those nub marks, and some of the parts don't even fit together correctly. It looks like they just headbutted the runners and hoped something would happen. Like, this would have been bad for a normal person doing reviews of these kits, but for official promotional images, this is horrible. Out of all of the images though, this one has to be the worst one, and just by saying that, you already know it's going to be pretty bad. Like, the longer you look at it, the more things you see wrong with it. The collar, lower arm, and crotch piece aren't pushed in all the way. The front skirts still have half of the runner attached to them, and something really weird happened with the V-fin. As other people have pointed out, it almost looks like they attached it to the face with hot glue. This is not how this kit is supposed to look, and I highly doubt that they included, like, new parts with these. These are just straight up recolors with a few Kith marking stickers, and for some reason, they're also twice the price. The Master Grade RX-78-2 version 2.0 goes for $95 US, while the Master Grade Wing Gundam goes for $85 US. That's a yikes on every single thing. Much cheaper then were the regular releases on the 6th. For 2,420 yen, 16 US, you could go for either the high-grade Char Zaku GQuuuuuX version or the high-grade RX-7802 White Gundam. And of the two, Char Zaku is definitely the one that I've got the least to say about, because it is quite literally just a recolor of the standard Zaku. It even still comes with the standard non-commander type head. The only differences are the color and the marking stickers. The White Gundam then is a remold of the Red Gundam, but it does have a few actual differences. In terms of accessories, the bits and Hyper Hammer are traded for a brand new Hyper Bazooka, and the head is also slightly different. And then just like with Char Zaku, it also has different colors and different marking stickers. Or for 3,080 and 20 US, you could go for the brand new high-grade Gundam Zagan. Last week, I made a joke about the not quite so sturdy inner frame that the Iron-Blooded kits are known for. But the Zagan has a mostly new one, and that includes that famously flimsy torso. And according to earlier reviews, this new inner frame does help with the overall stability of the kit. It's just unfortunate that this upgrade only happened now, but better late than never. It's also kind of crazy how they don't really advertise this feature on the product page. Again, considering how well known the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits are for their weaker inner frame. And on the 10th, you could build all of these kits while listening to the Symphonic Suite Zeta Gundam CD performed by the Sendai Philharmonic Orchestra. There's the regular version for 3,520 yen, 23 US, which comes with just a CD and a mini bromide, or you can go for the limited edition for 6,380 yen, 41 US, which comes in a special package that also contains a 36-page booklet. One day later, on the 11th then, you could try out both your luck and your skills over at Japanese arcades for this Gundam 45th Anniversary X Hatsune Miku Banpresto Evolve Gundam Collaboration prize figure. And for just being a mere prize figure, she does look really good. All of the details are looking nice and crisp, she's got golden details all over, and that gradient on the hair is also really impressive. She's looking as good as her name is long. And finally then, in early December, these GQuuuuuX Carddass cards were released. One pack of 2 will set you back 200 yen, a little over $1, and has 2 cards with a total of 32 to collect. And all of these feature either a profile illustration of the main characters or a screenshot from the final episodes. Nothing too crazy, but a nice collectible nonetheless. For this week's reading material then, we did get something quite crazy. As part of Gundam Wing's 30th anniversary celebrations and Code Geass's 20th anniversary celebrations, they've decided to make a collaboration manga. Not something I was expecting, but also something I'm not entirely surprised by, because they did already have a crossover in Super Robot Wars DD. And in that promotional image, we can see the Wing Gundam Zero Rebellion that was part of the crossover. So I wouldn't be surprised if this new manga is going to be at the very least inspired by that collaboration, if not just a straight up adaptation of that collaboration. But at the moment of recording, we don't know what the actual story is going to be about. We just have this image and the fact that the manga will be made by Ogasawara Tomofumi, who was also responsible for the Glory of the Losers manga and several Code Geass manga. So if nothing else, it's going to be pretty to look at. Which will also be the case for the Characters Mogumo Artworks art book, which will be releasing on February the 4th. As the title indicates, it's going to be a book that's all about the artworks of Mogumo and will therefore also include some Witch from Mercury artwork. Plus, there's also going to be a discussion in there between Mogumo and Hisadake. So definitely something worth getting for the big Witch from Mercury fans. Next up, we've got the January issue of New Type, which comes with a Frontiers in Glory Days clear file, and the Winter 2025 issue of Great Mechanics G, featuring a special on Gundam 0080 and the 10th anniversary of Iron-Blooded Orphans. And I gotta say, this is one of the hardest going covers I've seen in a while. Related to the reading material then was the announcement that from December 26th until January 25th, the Gundam Wing 30th Anniversary Fair will be held at Animate. During this time, every purchase of a Gundam-related book published by Kadokawa will get you a B5 visual board of either Hero, Duo, Troa, Catra, or Rufei in their Endless Waltz getup. And these books can be a variety of things: mangas, novels, art books, and even Gundam Ace is a go. For this week's apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off with a new lineup of Char's Counterattack and Cersei-inspired Hanten, which are traditional Japanese winter coats. The available designs are New Gundam Navy, Sazabi Red, Zai Gundam Navy, or Penelope Black, and you can get them on a standard Hanten for 26,400 yen, 169 US, or a long Hanten for 28,600 yen, 183 US. Or for a more Western style, you can get this boa jacket in either Ayug Blue or Tekadon Green. Both go for 19,800 yen a piece, 127 US, and will become available in physical Strict G stores on the 13th, which is also when those Hanten will go up for sale. Releasing on the 20th then is this new Iron-Blooded Orphans collection, and you'll definitely recognize the style of these items from previous Gundam Seed and Hathaway's Flash collections. You can get a standard t-shirt with the barbs for 4,730 yen, 30 US, a long sleeve t-shirt with the barbs or the Tekadon members for 7,480 and 48 US, and both designs have like a really cool gradient effect. There's a Mika dog tag set for 1,980 yen, 13 US, and a mini Tekadon flag for 1,760 yen, 11 US. Somewhere in March then, these Reebok Instapump Fury 94 shoes will become available in both physical Strict G stores and in Japanese Reebok stores. The shoes are 27,500 yen a pair, 176 US, and you can get them in either GQuuuuuX white and blue or in Red Gundam red. And you could get some more GQuuuuuX things over at Banpresto. For 3,080 yen a pop, 20 US, you can get this Machu or Nyon ending acrylic stand, or for 1,760 yen, 11 US, you can get one of these GQuuuuuX running SD mini cushions. These illustrations were previously also available as acrylic stands, but you can now get them as a small cushion that is a little bit bigger than the average master grade. And for the same price, you can also get these Gundam Wing Kabe-kyun mini cushions. Again, these illustrations were previously available as acrylic stands, but you can now get them as a small cushion. And talking about acrylic stands, you can get the main unicorn cast as a set of 8 1/144 scale mini acrylic stands. The set goes for 2,200 yen, 14 US, and all of the characters are perfect for displaying together with your high-grade unicorn kits, or your real-grade unicorn kits. Staying with Universal Century, we've got this Cuts, Let's, and Kika collection featuring a bunch of miscellaneous items with the famous trio on them, sometimes also with Haro. You can get them on a mug for 2,530 yen, 16 US, a pouch for 2,200 yen, 14 US, 2 types of tote bag for 3,850 yen each, 25 US, a mini tote bag for 2,200 yen, 14 US, a t-shirt for 3,850 yen, 25 US, a hoodie for 7,700 yen, 49 US, a face towel for 2,200 yen, 14 US, a blanket for 4,950 yen, 32 US, and a random hand towel for 880 yen each, 6 US. Next up from Iron-Blooded Orphans, you can get a black or pink Ryusei Go t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 28 US, a random Iron-Blooded Orphans face hair tie for 880 yen, 6 US, or you can go fancy with these Kudelia and Fumitan inspired necklaces. They go for 11,000 yen each, 71 US, and they are directly inspired by the necklaces worn by them in the series. They're almost identical, but Kudelia's has a white flower, while Fumitan's has a blue flower. And all of these Banpresto items are slated for a February release. Finally releasing in March then is this SD Gundam G Generation Eternal Saikoro Gundam plushie keychain. Perfect for hanging in your car. Also, for anyone wondering about the name, it's a pun that doesn't translate well or like at all into English. In Japanese, the Psycho Gundam is called the Psycho Gundam, and dice in Japanese is Saikoro, which is then how we got this dicey Psycho Gundam. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.